right, Matt Gibson live from the ICast show with the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Connolly.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah, Brian's with NuCanoe. He holds many hats. What, marketing director?
Oh man, whatever you want to call today, but
shop.
I do the shop up in Bellingham, run that. With the team admin with my favorite roles. Sometimes some sales stuff, whatever's needed. Yeah. We're going for that.
Yeah, he's kind of the go-to guy in NuCanoe when you need something or anything with the team, anything like that. It all goes through Brian. So Brian, ICast2024, how's it been going so far?
It's been great, man. I've really enjoyed it. I've been kind of locked in the booth most of the time. I'm excited to travel a little bit more and see other people's stuff, but we've been having a really good time. We got our awesome built out U10 and Unlimited from Westbrook. Mike, whose team new, also works down there, built it all out. And we have a Flint up on the back there too, man.
It's good. There's some sneaky good stuff on that U10 that Mike really thought out to lay it out. Man, that thing's sick.
Yeah, the U10. There's a lot of cool stuff on both builds there, man. But we have the Fusion side tray on there, still prototype. We should be out in the next couple of weeks with that. It's going really nice. Get your throttle up on if you're NK180 Pro.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is actually on the Unlimited. Mike rigged through so for the XI3, we all know that quick release and retract system can kind of be a lot. You got 2 ropes or you're doing it by hand. He wired up through the hole with a bungee system in there, so it retracts into itself like a little handle. You can pull it back. You should come check it out. It pulls up, and then you can just one hand with the rope pull back up with the collar.
Will we see a video of that? Soon.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. I'm hoping to have that be a product at some point as well, but there's nothing official on that. But
awesome. Yeah, so the U10 was released. What was that? February, March time frame.
Yep.
Overall, how's the U10 been going?
Oh, U10's great. Yeah, it's definitely getting its feet underneath it. It's coming right. Going to be our flagship with the Unlimited there. Moving into 2025, it's going to be the Unlimited, the U10, and the Flint. Those are going to be our 3 models.
Nice. Yeah, nice and simple.
Nice and simple. We're going back. You can cover all waterways with that type, all fishing. The U10's really been coming into its own. We were trying to leave it a little bit up to the market of where it's going to sit. River and paddling is going really well. Motors, small ponds, urban hopping, all that stuff. It's really coming into it.
Yeah, I know locally they're in the Indiana area with Moving Water Outfitters. They are really selling it as that really set up, ready to go, grab and go kayak you can throw on top of your car and just go fish.
Absolutely.
And have that stability too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I was shocked. Okay, so we planned it all out. There's a lot of meetings, obviously, going through the process. We get it on the water. We're at Murray. When I myself got on it, I was floored. The stability and the tracking on it were better than we thought it was going to be even. I mean, the amount of hours, James, who's our designer, you know, man, the amount of hours that go in each detail of the boat is astounding, and it shows through when you're doing that at the end of the day. The U10's been doing well. The thing is, with it being the throw and go, it also has this ability to be a really good tournament boat, because we have the catchboard locations there for that, or the leaderboard, anything like that, the 26 and the 32. And there's just these little details around the boat with the rod bay and stuff like that, and rod storage, just every piece of it. It can be either simple grab and go, or it can be built out, rigged with multiple screens.
Yeah. I mean, and you put a motor on it. That thing's a beast with a motor. You can in either motor, bow mount or something on the transom like the NK180 Pro. It's just a great boat. We actually did some speed testing on there too. The crazy thing, we had Brundle out there, right? That's gonna add some speed, just having Brundle on the boat. He had the U10, he had the NK300, and there was a little bit of tailwind. I'll give you that. 7.5 miles an hour. That is incredible in a plastic boat. Amazing.
I was floored. I didn't believe him until he showed me the screenshot. He's like, I got 7.5 coming back.
You ready for this one, Schiller? Game changing. I don't think I've heard
whole
that
game
yet.
has changed. Never to be the same.
And it's one of those boats too that just paddle really well. It's comfortable, even for a bigger guy like me with the seat all the way back. I'm 6'5", with that seat turned back. I'm still comfortable in that U10. So it's been a great platform. So with NuCanoe, you kind of walk through the lineup. What about something I always get asked about? Color options.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
Yeah. So the color options are going to be, we're going to be dealing with Thunderstorm, Tundra, Hazard, and Army Camo.
Nice.
For the Unlimited. And we're also going to have Nuclear Green for the Flint.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep, that's how we're gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna have that.
Yeah, the Flint, that's still just a solid boat for, in Indiana. That's where I have the most experience. Midwest, I would say that is a great kayak for a young angler to get into, because they can grow with it. They're not going to grow out of it in a year or two. It's something that they'll be able to grow into. And then also they have all the motor options. So later on, if they want to add some motor options to it, they can. But just a great starter kayak, I would say.
Absolutely, man. We talk about that a lot. It's like a starter kayak, but you're not sacrificing. It's still a top end kayak.
Yeah.
Like, I always word it this way. I have access to all the models up at the headquarters, right? We have all the boats, and I choose to take the Flint often. In fact, so I'm up from the Pacific Northwest, the headquarters. We have big glacial run rivers. I pick that Flint in the fall when the water's high for salmon fishing. And I'll go and I can take it into eddies, pull it off like in the seam lines, and I have a lot of control. I'll use a paddle, I'll go point to point with it.
Yeah.
And I'm catching big fish, like running it, and I can choose any boat, and I choose the Flint. It's just a good boat for what it does.
Nice. So talking about boat choices, when do you choose Unlimited over the U10? That's something that is brought up quite often as well.
Absolutely, man. I think that's a phone call I've had at least once a day. Since coming out. The biggest reasons to go with the U10 over the Unlimited is going to be transportability. Like if you're running, you can back the truck on top of your rig, and that's what you're going to do all the time. I took the U10 and I was able to single-handedly load it, pick it up over the head, and walk it up my truck rack and throw it up there when I'm doing multiple stuff. Yeah. And I'm just more comfortable doing that than I am with Unlimited. You're just bringing that weight down a little bit. It's nice to have that 72-pound base weight on it. So that's gonna be the biggest reason. Outside of that, if you're just jumping ponds a lot, man, it's really going to come down if you're needing to move that boat around a lot. You need space and storage, like in where you're storing it, all those types of things. Yeah,
those folks in an apartment complex, for instance, it's a great boat for them. They can stash it with minimal, with minimal spaces and be able to store that boat properly. So,
and you're not sacrificing features. Like you still have the Unlimited, just kind of brought down a little bit for it. Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, with you being the team manager, something that is a topic that's often brought up is, hey, how do I get on a team? Hey, what are you guys looking for? So let's start with kind of how do you get on a team like Team NuCanoe?
Absolutely, man. So the Team NuCanoe is an application process, but the biggest thing is they're working with local dealers.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's the local dealer's decision to bring someone on. So the best thing you can do is build that relationship.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Like we're leaning on them. We're like, hey, so-and-so brought this application to us. We think they look pretty strong. Another key to that is be running NuCanoe, right? Like you're running your NuCanoe, you know your stuff, you love the product, you love your local dealer. That's the combination we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is greater than going into a local dealer and saying, hey, who's your NuCanoe rep? They know them right away and say, hey, this is that guy's phone number. If you have any questions, here you go. So yeah, that's something I really recommend too, is get in there, get with your local dealer, support your local dealer, and support your local kayak scene.
Yes, absolutely.
Be part of that community.
Be part of the community. Know what's going on, because that's the information and the knowledge like from us we're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, like if you can be in your shop and mean like I ran the White River or the Skagit, and this is how I fish it with my NuCanoe. That's gonna matter so much more. We don't have nothing more than when dealers come to us in a show like this and they're like, so and so has been killing me.
Yeah.
They send so many people in the top. They answer my questions. They know when new products are coming out. They rig for us. That's huge. If you can go in and you're willing to sacrifice some time and sacrifice relative. You're hanging out in a kayak shop. Most of us are doing that anyways, you know. And you're sitting there and you're rigging out a boat for them, getting the front display. That moves boats.
Helping with demo days. That's huge.
Demo days. Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I think there's this big assumption out there that you have to have this huge social media presence. And that's just not true, man.
It's not. Honestly, that's not even it's a factor, but it's not at the top.
Yeah.
When you're coming to that level. Like we're looking for local knowledge, and for you to be like a compassionate person who's in your community and a good influence, that matters so much more. All the rest of the social media stuff can be learned and grow. Like you can grow into that role, and it's not even necessarily a role you need to if that's not what you want.
No, that's great advice. So, with kind of, this is a question that I've been asking you, and this is something I'm really interested in. Just popped in my head. Is hey, you guys span all across the country now.
Yes.
And so, are there specific boats and applications for each part of those regions, or do you see a pretty common thread from East Coast, West Coast, South to North?
It does have some variance. I think it's pretty consistent. The Unlimited is our flagship and it's our front runner, and it has been, right? And that's gonna be consistent. The way you rig them out is gonna change. Like when I'm over on the West Coast, we were doing some stuff down in Cali. XI3s. Everyone's running XI3s. Even some of the guys like running XI3s and NK300s. They're running the combos there, right? Yeah. And then you come out here, you get a lot more NKs up in north, like by you guys. Like I would picture that as more NK country. Yep. But you have these big reservoirs and stuff like that. You're gonna be changing up that motor. Yep. But the way people use it is gonna be pretty similar. You have some variants of like horizontal rod storage versus vertical. It's really gonna come if you're running rivers, overhangs, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean by far, in the Midwest area, and I think just nationwide, the Unlimited is in my opinion, the king of the kayak. It's so badass. It's so awesome.
It's always great, especially with shows like this. You have conversations to the side, and they're like, "Man, like they're not the person you should be telling you." They're like, Unlimited. And they're like, "I love running Unlimited." Like, it's great. So it's always that's our bread and butter, right? Grassroots marketing. We're like, we believe if everyone was educated about what we offer, we'd bring people into the NuCanoe ecosystem. We don't want anyone in a NuCanoe who shouldn't be in a NuCanoe. But there's a lot of people who should be in a NuCanoe.
Yeah, man, and it's interesting too because with the brand, I've been with you guys for a long time, and seeing the evolution of the brand to where we had like it was known as a big man's kayak.
Yeah,
the F12.
Yep.
And now the evolution of that, and to see the different models come out for different uses, and just seeing the different people in kayaks in the NuCanoe kayak lineup is just awesome, man. It's great.
Yeah, we've said this a lot, but we used to be like the heavy kayak.
Yeah,
like we were like everyone's like, that's a heavy kayak, and now they're like, man, that's so light. So, like, it's crazy, man. Like to see the evolution there and stuff like that. And we were doing what we do, we know what we do, and we do it well. So
that's funny because it's like NuCanoe was a heavy kayak, and it's like everybody just leapfrog.
Yeah, and it's very clearly now we are not the heaviest kayak.
Right. Yeah, hardly ever have that conversation anymore. So with that, Brian, I know you got to get back to work. So hey, I really appreciate your time. Everybody stay tuned. We got some more shows coming up. Randy's got some stuff. Brian's got some stuff. People has some stuff. So we'll be coming live here shortly. So stay tuned. And again, thanks, Brian.
Hey,
appreciate
thanks for having me.
Awesome.